Hey guys, this is 𝐀𝐥𝐞𝐱 again from Shanghai Silk Road. In this video I want to talk about a couple of things again about company registration in China, specifically regarding opening a corporate bank account. I want to give you some updates actually. We've talked about these topics before, but this time I want to give you some updates, what's really happening starting from 2020. There are a couple of changes, like I mentioned in different videos. So this time is about opening a corporate bank account for your WFOE in China. Now, previously, everybody knows that who's been doing business in China, in and out, or located in China, they know that opening a corporate bank account in China is not very difficult compared to other countries, compared to 95 or 99% of the countries out there actually, because this is what we do, right? We register companies around the globe for our clients and help them to open corporate bank accounts in different countries as well. So that's why, coming from that point, from that experience, I can tell you that opening a corporate bank account in China has been very, very easy. To name a few like advantages, for example, to open a corporate bank account in China, there is no deposit required. Okay, you can, for example, if compare it to any other country, I mean, take Hong Kong, for example, or Singapore, or take Switzerland, or take any European country, or take United States. Most of the banks in US, of course, the deposit is very low for US companies, but still there is a deposit, at least like 5,000 United States dollars. In Canada, yeah, Canadian banks do not normally require, this is good, any deposit from the clients, but still, it's not that easy. The process of opening a corporate bank account in China is much, much easier. It's just an application and visit to the bank and you're done basically. So, but starting from 2020, there are a couple of things, changes I want to talk about today. Don't worry, they're not requiring any deposit yet, okay? So what's happening is they are becoming a little bit harder, okay, towards applicants. Their due diligence is more stricter now compared to previous years. We have actually experienced that the bank refused the application to some clients, unfortunately, because of some info they obtained during the due diligence about the client, and so there are different reasons that they don't actually discuss it with you, but they will tell you that your application is high risk, and we cannot process it with you. All right, but from unofficial sources that we get is it's because of your name might be blacklisted somehow, or your country that you're coming from is actually might be one of those countries that a bank does not want to work with. Okay, I think this situation is not, it is new in China. It is new among Chinese, mainland China banks, but this situation is not new to people who've been in international business for some time. For example, in Hong Kong, that's been the case for so many years now. Okay, in Hong Kong, if you want to open a bank account, the due diligence is very, very tough actually. And another thing is your country of citizenship. Okay, there's a specific list of countries in Hong Kong banks that they don't want to work with. Or even if you come from a poor country or a third world country, like they say, the banks, 99% will refuse your application. And there are some other elements as well, okay, not only in Hong Kong but other countries. So what I'm saying is Chinese banks are getting in that position slowly. Okay, why? The reason is basically China is registering a lot of foreign companies, okay, every day, every year, and the number is rising. So obviously the Chinese banks are becoming a little bit stricter, okay, day by day. So yeah, this is what we've experienced now. In 2020, there were a lot of applications that we made on behalf of clients, and some of them refused. So that's the point point of this video that I want to, inform you that it's not like previous times now. Okay, now your application, corporate bank account application, might get refused as well. And the reasons, banks, like I said, do not discuss it like openly, but the reason is because of due diligence. Your personal name, specific name, might be blacklisted somewhere, or your name could be similar to somebody else's name that is blacklisted. It can be in the list of money laundering, anti-money laundering, list, or your country of citizenship, okay, might be blacklisted country, or one of those high-risk countries that bank or China they don't want to work with. Okay, so this might be a couple of reasons. Now, what happens? Okay, naturally you might wonder, what happens if my corporate bank account application is refused? So we give you a couple of options actually in this situation. Number one option is it's the easiest one, is to change your director. Okay, change the director of your Chinese company. All right, if you are the director and your name is blacklisted, then unfortunately there is no way around it. Okay, so what you have to do is just change the director. You can take the position of the supervisor or some other position and let somebody else be the director. Okay, and your bank account will be under his or her name in China, and this is number one option. Number two option is you can still go ahead and use your RMB account. Okay, Chinese banks normally, okay, they don't refuse the application for RMB account. What they refuse is a foreign currency account, because in China foreign currency is strictly controlled, okay, by the government. So yeah, you can still go ahead and keep using your RMB account in your transactions. So if you're located outside of China, your home bank can send RMB to China, and that RMB can be transferred to your suppliers here. Okay, that's a possibility. You don't have to convert USD into RMB every time. Actually, this is an advantage as well. So because I know that there are so many banks outside of China, they can send RMB. All right, so if you want to make a purchase, for example, let your home bank send an RMB instead of USD, and you can, using your online banking, you can transfer that RMB to your suppliers, and that's it. And you can use the same process to withdraw your income. Okay, if you're located outside of China, you want to get some dividends, or you want to transfer your income back to your home country into your personal account, you can transfer RMB, and then later on, once the money arrives into your personal account abroad, then you can get it exchanged into USD in your home bank. Okay. So these are some options, guys, but the best option is always to change the director. Okay, I know it is a time-consuming thing, but this is the best we can offer right now. If your application is refused because of your name, all right, because of some problem during the due diligence. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is during coronavirus, actually. Government made it very easy actually for the companies, for foreign entrepreneurs to deal with paperwork. So for example, you don't have to really go to the government office that much these days. We can do it from distance. If your application got refused, for example, in the bank, we can try to solve it from distance as well. Just contact us. We just have to look at your specific situation. But of course, if you want to change the director, that new director actually should visit China. Okay, unfortunately that's the case, but like I said in the different videos, although this is a very temporary situation and we don't know when it's going to stop, but the temporary situation is when you visit China, Shanghai specifically, you have to stay for 14 days before you go ahead and meet any government official, okay, including those company registrar people or the bank staff even. You just have to stay, be around, okay, do shopping, etc. Just stay in Shanghai for 14 days. After that, we will make an appointment at the bank, and we can go with you and deal with the paperwork. All right. Next thing I want to talk about is a lot of people ask, why actually do I need to register a company in China if I want to do business with China? Or actually, this question can be applied to any other country. So the question is, why do I need to register a company in that country where I want to do business? Can I just use my own existing company right now? For example, I own a company in Saudi Arabia. Can I just use that company? Or I own a company in Hong Kong. Can I use that Hong Kong company to do business in China, for example? Yeah, you can do that. I mean, there's no restriction actually to do business in China with your foreign entity. But the thing is, you will have a lot of barriers to deal with everything, basically. Okay, for example, start from receiving money, receiving payments. Okay, if you want to have clients, if you want to sell something in China, how are you planning to receive payments? Okay, there are solutions. Third party, okay, third companies. You can find that middle company. Okay, there are so many of them. But they charge a lot actually. They're not cheap, their services, financial services. What they do is, on your behalf, they receive money and then they send it back to your company's account, either to Hong Kong or somewhere else. Okay, so this is number one. You don't have full control. Okay, number two is the local trust. Okay, I mean, if you, for example, if you want to deal again with local clients, you need to have a Chinese bank account, or you need to have a Chinese business number, right? Business license, so that local people can easily look up, your company, because, like I said in other videos, in China, this is public information. Okay, companies registered in China can be looked up online. You can obtain almost all the information about their finances, about their structure, etc., etc. So your foreign entity is alien. No matter what you do, it's alien. Okay, they cannot really look it up. They cannot really have that full information about you, as a foreign entity. Of course, if you're a brand name, that is a different story. Okay, I mean, local clients, they don't need to look you up. For example, if you're a very well famous brand in the US, or a famous company in some other country that everybody knows internationally, that's a different story. But for startups, for new businesses, it's very, very important to have that local entity. Okay, to gain the trust of the local people, and also, like I said, to open local doors. Okay, for Chinese companies, WFOE, although it's foreign owned, it is considered a Chinese company. So for Chinese companies, it's easy to have everything here. You can have a corporate bank account. You can have a like RMB, and have a different currency, multi-currency account. And you can have Alipay, corporate Alipay, okay, which is the alternative of PayPal in China. Without Alipay, without WeChat Pay, nothing gets transferred in China. Actually, I mean, 99% of the time, you go outside, everyone pays through WeChat or through Alipay. So with the local company, you can have that. With an alien company, you can have Alipay or WeChat Pay, but that account will be international. You will not have access to the local wallet. Okay, so there's a huge difference. For example, Alipay and WeChat, they have international versions, but that international version operates outside of China. Okay, if you want to be able to use it inside China, you need to have a local entity registered in China. And plus, if you want to get access to Taobao, world's largest e-commerce platform. Okay, for example, if you want to have a store on Taobao, it is better to register a company here. Or you want to have a store on AliExpress, like I talked about different videos. It's better to have a local company here. Okay, there are so many things maybe I have forgotten to mention, but it is very important. Okay, for example, change China with different country. Okay, you can change China with USA. All right, so Imagine now, I have a Chinese company. I want to work, I want to do business in the United States. The natural thing, the business 101 thing, is to register an entity in the US. Why? Because my Chinese company in US, it's an alien company. I will have a lot of difficulties. I will face a lot of barriers. Number one thing is the bank account. Number two, maybe tax complications. And because, it's very, very complicated tax-wise as well. And nobody, actually even the most experienced accountant in China or in the US will struggle to tell you what are the taxes you will face in China, okay, with an alien company. And yeah, it can be sorted out, but it is not easy, all right? So in order to obtain, for example, necessary licenses in the US with the Chinese company will be extremely difficult. Maybe next to impossible, some of the licenses. Or opening a bank account in US, I know for sure it's very hard for alien companies to open a bank account without, having a having an address there, without having any, local entity there or a subsidiary, so to speak. So as you can see, I mean, it's not only about China, guys. It's about having that local trust, having that local presence, okay, in that country you want to do business in. I cannot really stress this more, but it boils down to that, really. Okay, this is a logical thing to do. All right. So yeah, another thing I want to add to this last topic is we, especially for people who want to do business in China with their Hong Kong company or Singapore company, right? For example, some people ask, I want to register a Hong Kong company and I want to do business with that company in China. Or I want to register a Singapore company and with that company I want to do business in China. Why? Because it's easier to operate those companies than WFOE in China. I agree. Because operating a WFOE is not easy compared to other countries because there's too much bureaucracy here, okay, still. But the thing you have to keep in mind is, again, coming from experience, guys, it is not easy to open a bank account in Singapore, in Hong Kong, if you don't have a very strong presence there. It's not easy. It is possible, but unfortunately Singapore and Hong Kong banks, they have very, very strict policies and due diligence as well. And plus, starting from recently, they are requiring that you have at least some kind of office there, some physical presence there, that some attachment, okay, to Singapore or Hong Kong in order to have your bank account, corporate bank account approved. Otherwise, they will just require huge deposits. Okay, some Hong Kong banks require deposits like 50,000 USD or 100,000 USD, and even if you're okay with that, even if you pay that deposit, all right, you can use that, but after some time they will freeze your account. It's been happening over and over and over and again. Why? Because they find some mistake. They say that, okay, we detected some kind of irregular activities, and for that reason we're shutting your account down or we're freezing it for some time. And that is the worst thing to do, guys. So that's why, to be secure, to be on the safe side, I still encourage, if you want to do business in China, it is the safest option to register a local entity. All right. You can then go ahead and open a Hong Kong entity and try your luck. We will be more than happy to help you with bank account, arranging making an appointment at the banks in Hong Kong, and you can still you can keep trying until you open a bank account there. And once you are sure, okay, that your Hong Kong company is stable and it's okay, you can trust it for the at least foreseeable future, then it's very easy actually to change the scenario, like sell your Chinese company to your Hong Kong company and make your Hong Kong company a parent company. That's not very difficult to do. All right, but to start with, I would start with a local entity. All right, that is the way to go, and that is how things should be, at least right now. because as I said, you know, Chinese policies, company laws, they are changing, okay, adapting to new changes. They are making it easier for foreign entrepreneurs, you know, to operate businesses here. So who knows? I mean, maybe after a couple of years, it will be very, very easy actually compared to Hong Kong or Singapore to run a company here. Who knows? Why? Because we can see from the statistics that, you know, the number of companies being registered in Shanghai, for example, you know, is rising. Okay, it's not going down, it is rising. Anyway, guys, so I hope this video will be helpful to some people who are looking for answers. And if you need more information, you're welcome to contact us. Leave comments below this video, and next time I will be, you know, addressing those questions. And also feel free to send us an email with your specific situation, and we'll try our best to respond to your question. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you guys in the next videos. Thank you.